Hey, I think we're recording. This camera that I'm using, it doesn't have a light. I might have to go back to one of my older cameras if I still have the batteries. We'll see. I hope I'm in frame, I don't know. Hi, I'm Sarah. Today I'm going to be showing you my TBR for this year. So my goal this year is to read 60 books. I think I can do it. I had a goal of reading 50 books last year and I managed 53, so I'm really looking forward to it. The time I'm reading this, I've already read one, but it was like a comic, so it doesn't really... Obviously comics are books and everything, but this comic was literally 80 pages long, so I don't know necessarily if it counts. I'm on my second book of the year, but it's still early. It's what, the 5th of January that I'm recording this, so we'll see. So this is my TBR that I've got this year. So as I said, I'm hoping to read 60 books. I think I can do it, and I've definitely got a good start here. So these are all books that I own, that I am hoping to get through. Some of these I did forget I had, so I have to get to them at some point. So my first goal of the year, which I always said that I was going to do, is to read the entire Game of Thrones series. So I do own the entire Game of Thrones series, but I'm not going to get them all off the shelf, especially because one of them is shorter than the rest of them. It really upsets me. So I got all these second hand. I did have the first one, but I don't know if I got rid of it because I had tried to read the first one before and couldn't get through it. But last year my sister's partner's grandmother gave my sister like most of the Game of Thrones series and was like, oh, if you want them, or you know someone who wants them, go ahead. And my sister saved them for me. So if you're in the US, I think the way it was printed was differently, but I have 7 books because I think it's books 3 and 5 are split into 2 different books. I think in the US they were printed all as one like massive book, like both books were printed as one book, so there are 5 books, but I have 7. So I don't know if that's going to affect my story graph or whatever, but I have 7. So I've got this entire series. I'm probably going to go through and annotate it. I also want to rewatch the series, see how it differs. I know it differs quite a lot. I went through a stage when I was watching Game of Thrones. I came to it late, but still before season 8 aired. So I used to get into like, all the lore stuff on YouTube and stuff. I would like to do that again, but I don't want it to take over my life like it did last time. So for my birthday last year, I was in Edinburgh. Not last year, 2021. I was in Edinburgh. I was born in December, so I insisted on doing a book crawl, a bookshop crawl, because there's so many lovely bookshops in Edinburgh. I might do that as a video. And I wanted to buy a book about the Renaissance because I have a work in progress, my Atlantis work in progress, which is set in the 1600s, and I could have got something that was more set around art, or you know, things like that, things that would make sense for my work in progress. But me being me, I went for sex, disease and excess in an age of beauty, because I find that sort of thing, like politics and how diseases come from, you know, I find all of that fascinating. So I picked this up and then I put it on my history bookshelf, and it got pushed to the back and I completely forgot I had it, so I'm going to read that this year. I also really, I know it's meant to be ugly, but I really like the cover. So, this one is The Ugly Renaissance by Alexander Lee. My next one is Queens of the Conquest by Alison Weir. I have some works in progress which are set in medieval, it's a medieval, like, Europe, which I know has been done to death, but you know, it's probably not going to go anywhere, so I can write what I want. And because my story is set around medieval queens, I just wanted to give myself like some context, because I really struggle with internet research, because I just get distracted and I go off somewhere. So if I have a book, it really helps me. I've got no clue if these books are in frame, so I might have to do little clips afterwards. But yeah, so Queens of the Conquest, really looking forward to reading that. I've also heard things about Alison Weir. I think she's meant to be quite good, isn't she? So we'll see. My next one is Mark Morris, the Anglo-Saxon. So I got this one and the Alison Weir one on Amazon really cheaply because I had a voucher. I don't tend to buy a lot of Amazon, but if I get vouchers then I use them. So just for a bit of context around like medieval Anglo-Saxon times, I do have a bit more of a background in this. I did a history A-level like back in the Middle Ages, where I did have a load of books but I got rid of them, so it'd be nice to go back and see what I remember from that. We'll see. I haven't heard anything about this one. It was like £1 or something, so I got it. So when I was little, I really wanted to be a primatologist, and I was really inspired by the staff at Monkey World, which is in Dorset. I think it's a really good day out, especially for kids, so I'd recommend it. And I used to have this, like, I really loved this one orangutan called Amy. So when I went to Monkey World in 2021, I know it's really bad, I had these books on my bookshelf and I just forgot they were there. I picked up this one, Jeremy and Amy. So Jeremy Keeling, who wrote this book, he had this really strong, intense bond with this one, orangutan Amy, and I used to idolise Jeremy and Jim and Alison Cronin. So I really I saw this in their gift shop and I picked it up and I just haven't got to it yet. But it looks like it might be, even though it sounds like it might be intense, I don't think it is going to be as much of an intense read as it sounds. So I'm hoping that's just like a nice little easy read. Going from easy reads to possibly one of the hardest reads, I have never read The Diary of Anne Frank, and I know a lot of people did at school. My school, we didn't do that, but I've always felt like it's something that I should read. I was in Amsterdam in November and I really wanted to go to the Anne Frank house. It was like the only thing I booked ahead of time. So when I was there I decided to pick this up and I'm going to try and read that this year, even though I'm probably going to cry. But I feel like it's important for us to know our history and to not forget. I feel like in a way we do forget. A lot of it's performative now, so I really want to try and really enhance my knowledge. So I've got this one next. I got this in a charity shop. It's got stickers all over it. So it's The Murder of Harriet Monckton by Elizabeth Haynes. So this was actually set very close to where I live, and it's like a Victorian crime novel. It sounded pretty good. I thought I'd give it a go. I just haven't got to it yet. But I got this, yeah, it was £1.50, so I picked it up. I've got this awful habit of buying stuff from charity shops, never reading them. So I know a lot of people do this now. There's the Icelandic tradition of, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the book flood, where everyone exchanged books on Christmas Eve, and then you read them and you eat chocolate that evening. Our one we had to do a bit differently this year because my sister wasn't at home, but so I haven't read my book yet. But the book I got was Do You Dream of Terror 2 by Temi O. I saw this when I was in Foley's during the film festival because I was killing time between films, and I was like, sounds so good, but my birthday and Christmas are both in December, so I can't buy any books for myself then. So this one, I believe it's a young adult novel, and it's about where is it? So 10 astronauts are being sent to see this new planet, to see if humans can travel there, but it's going to take them all 23 years to get there. So 6 of them are teenagers and then 4 of them are like adults, and it's about the journey and about if they are going to be able to get there with nothing going wrong. I thought it sounded really good and I'm really looking forward to reading it. If We Were Villains, I got this for Christmas. Sorry, I get them confused because they're so close together. So I got really into dark academia next year. I did come up with an idea for a dark academia book of my own. I haven't got to it yet. And I read quite a few dark academia books. So I read like The Secret History, which I loved, and and The Furies by Katie Lowe, which I thought was fantastic, and I want to reread it, but I've lent it to my sister. But I haven't read this one, and this one's meant to be like one of the biggest ones, so I was like, oh, I'll ask for that for Christmas. and now I've just got to read it. I'm really excited to read it. I have so many books I'm so excited to read, and it's like, where do you start? I don't even know if I'm still in frame anymore. I've got no clue. We'll see. My next book that I've got is Kaikeki by Vaishnavi by Vaishnavi Patel. I'm really sorry if I've butchered your name. It's not my intention, I've only seen it written down, I'm sorry. So I've been looking for this book for ages and I couldn't find it in like my local Waterstones or anything, and I don't like to buy off Amazon because reasons. But I had seen this book sort of floating around on Twitter for ages, and then I finally found it. I was in there, I was waiting to see some friends for my birthday and I saw it and I had to get it. And it's set around, I think it's the Indian epic Ramayana, and I'm really excited to read this. I don't know a lot of Indian mythology. I believe it's Hindu mythology, and I really, really am excited to read it. I really want to diversify my reading this year. I'm really trying. I did quite well last couple of years, but I am noticing this pile that I've got is very white, so I'm working on it. But I mean, the cover firstly is absolutely stunning, and I've heard such good things. I'm really excited to read this. I also got this for my birthday, so this is the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. Again, not sure if I've said her name properly. I'm sorry if I didn't. I've heard lots of different things about this, but it's a dark academia book. I've heard good and bad things. I want to make my own opinion up, really. I also think this is a beautiful cover as well. So we will see. We will see if it's good or not. I want to go in with a completely open mind. So, House of Leaves. I did try this last year and I really struggled, so I didn't finish it, but I really want to get through it. It's been recommended to me by a really close friend, and he said once you're into it, you're like into it. So we will try again this year. I'm hoping I can get into it. I think it's just it's one of those very confusing, and I think I made a mistake trying to read it in my lunch breaks. Maybe I won't do that this time. We'll see. I'm determined to at least try again this year. So I'm on my hair's everywhere. Okay, so I'm on my last 6 books now. So these ones I bought in the Waterstone sale online. So they were doing it was up to 50% off hardbacks, and I decided to pick up a couple paperbacks at the same time because why not? I was already making an order. So again, quite looking forward to reading all of these. This first one is The Kin is Dead by Benjamin Dean. I came across Benjamin Dean on my TikTok For You page, and the book sounded really interesting, and that's the only reason I bought it, was because of him marketing his book. And it's about a royal family. James is the first black and queer heir to the throne, and he's crowned king at 17, and then there's all these secrets that come out. It sounds fantastic. I like Benjamin Dean. You're never going to see this, but I literally bought this because you're marketing. I can't wait. I believe it's a YA novel, but and I don't really read loads of YA anymore, but yeah, I had to. That's all there is to it. Just literally say I don't read a lot of YA. I've also got Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones, simply because I really love the movie and I've heard the book is so much different. I wanted to see the differences, and I got this for literally about £7-8. So I thought, why not? I also quite like this cover as well. Last 2 covers are just on point at the minute. It's so good. I really love Greek mythology, so I've got Electra by Jennifer Sade. This one was ridiculously cheap for a hardback. This was like £7.50. I love Greek mythology. I was one of those kids who grew up obsessed with Greek mythology, and and a lot of what you see, obviously I've read The Son of Achilles and Circe and Galatea, which I was kind of disappointed in Galatea, but those ones are sort of put up. I really like the fact there's so many women coming through in Greek mythology retellings. I'm really excited to read this. I also, at the same time, got Natalie Hayes' Stone Blind. I always like the story of Medusa. I can't wait to see what she does with it. I'm really excited about these two. I've not read any Greek retellings for a while, so I'm really excited to see those. I also got Tomorrow, Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I literally bought this because everyone was saying about how it was one of the best books of the year, and I hadn't read it and I felt left out. I love the cover. I'm really excited to get into it. I'm trying to do that thing where I just want to go in almost completely blind, so I'm really excited for that. The last one I bought in the Waterstone sale was Maggie O'Farrell's The Marriage Portrait. So this one is about the Dimitri's, Lucrezia, I think, Lucrezia Dimitri. I have got a story where the Dimitri's, I believe it said Dimitri. I don't think it actually is now I'm saying it out loud. I've only really seen it written down. I haven't watched anything with them in, but I've got a story where they feature, and I'm really interested. I've read loads of books about them. I'm really interested to see what she does with them. I loved Hamnet. I've also got one of her non-fiction books, I believe, which I really enjoyed. I think she's a fantastic author. I was hoping to get this for Christmas and I didn't, so I had to snap it up, especially because this is meant to be £25. That's so expensive. I got it £12.50. I was like, what a steal! What a steal! I would have paid £25, but it's an exclusive edition. I don't know what that means. I don't know why. What makes it exclusive? But we'll see. We'll see. Actually, a lot of the Waterstones ones in the sale, I saw there were loads. I'm just looking through the ones I bought. There were loads that were like exclusive editions or signed, or so. I mean, I got the exclusive edition of The Marriage Portrait, and this one's also, I didn't mention, this one is The Kin is Dead is signed by the author, so that's very exciting. And I lied to you when I said only 6 more books. I've got 1 left. I had this on a pre-order for November. Here it is. I read this one last year. I literally picked it up because the cover was pretty. Me and my friend both were like, oh, it's beautiful, let's both pick it up and read it. And we both loved it. It's Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. And then when I was so annoyed because I didn't realise it was a duology at first, but then I immediately had to order the second one, and I got it in November. I also got it like a few days before it was supposed to be published, so I hope that didn't affect her sales. I don't know. So this is Heart of the Sun Warrior. It's a beautiful cover. It's got spade edges. Look at that. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love the first one. I love the retelling of Chinese mythology. I immediately was like, I need to read more. I haven't been able to yet because I've been trying to... I haven't actually read anything properly since November, so... I just haven't really had time. I've been busy, like Christmas and travelling and everything. So I'm really excited to get into this one. I believe Kayaki might be my next book after Fire and Blood, but we'll see. This is going to be up there. Yeah, I'm really excited to read all of them. I didn't realise until I had them piled up on the floor how many books I actually had to read. So we will see. I will get through them. That's a good half of the year set out for me, I reckon, between that and the Game of Thrones series. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my TBR video. If you have any recommendations on books that you think I might like, please send them my way. I'm always looking for good books. I'd really want to diversify my my reading this year, so I'd love to hear any recommendations, whether they're mythology retellings or whatever. And yeah, do you have any books in your TBR that's the same as mine that we can talk about? That'd be really fun. So let me know, and I'll see you soon. Bye.